in the moment you're in, are you doing your best? When I think of that in sessions, it's such a huge thing, because even on those days where you're a bit tired and maybe you're not hitting the pace or whatever, I'm just like, well, am I doing my best? Yes. Okay, big win. What I want to bring into the race is just my mindset that I've had whilst I've been training, and almost just see it not as a training run, because it is a race and it is the day where you want to perform your best. But if you can put your mind into how you feel when you are training, where you're quite relaxed about it, I think that's quite important for me.
And I'm not going to lie, I've been trying to stay optimistic, and I know you go through this process of feeling weird at the start, but the first few rounds I was like, oh my God, I've got a really long way to go. Like, when is it going to feel normal?
The adrenaline I had that morning of getting tickets, I was doing star jumps around the living room. I had so much adrenaline that I went for a run straight afterwards, and I ran so fast. I was just like, I had so much energy that I was just flying around this run.
We have a quick favour to ask you. Each week, we want to make this podcast better and better. But to do that, we need your help. If you're watching on YouTube, could you spare us 1 second and click that subscribe button? And if you're listening on Spotify or Apple, please follow us and rate the show. It will really, really help us to keep bringing you these conversations each week, to get you out on those runs and help you hit your running goals. Thank you. Welcome back to 5 Miles Easy, the 6th mile, the episode where it's just Steph and I, and we catch up on our own running journeys, our highs, lows and learnings, plus what's captured our attention in the running news. We also have some fantastic stories from our listeners, which we will share in a bit. So Steph, in terms of updates, this episode will be out not to terrify you, but after you've run Valencia Marathon. So how are you feeling?
I'm actually feeling really excited and relaxed about Valencia, which is weird. I think I've been through quite a roller coaster journey the last few months with training, and actually the last 5 weeks or so have just been really good, that it's made me feel confident but also relaxed. I think because I've had a short build up, it's almost made me feel like not everything was put on one race. And I'm feeling in a good place fitness-wise, but also just quite excited, because it's just good to see. I don't know, it'll be good to see what I've got on the day.
But also, if your sessions over the last few weeks have gone really well, that shows you're in great shape. And you don't need loads of sessions. You know, those sessions prove that you're ready.
Yeah, exactly. I do think I've been guilty of thinking I need loads of sessions to prove that I'm ready. So this time round, I was consciously wanting to have a shorter build. I knew I only needed like 4 good marathon sessions, and then that would be fine. So
yeah. So how many have you actually done? How many big marathon sessions have you done?
4. But I've done more, I guess I've done more long runs, but I don't really count them as like specific marathon sessions. So 4 like proper marathon sessions that I would class as that.
Yeah, which has been your favourite or your best?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, the one that I did last week was 4x5K, and that was a real confidence boost because they were all faster than marathon pace. So I was like, okay, well, that's probably a good sign. And then the week before that, I actually really enjoyed it as well, because it was kind of like a steady to almost tempo. So it was slower than marathon pace, but it was just like a straight 20 miles at a pace where it's like not super easy, but not quite at marathon pace. So you do really need to concentrate. And then I had to pick it up in the last 5. So you were kind of always working. It was a really good one to practice fueling. And then just the fact that I felt comfortable at that pace was like, okay, well then I could probably go 10 seconds a mile faster, which would have been basically marathon pace. So.
Yeah, that's such a good confidence boost.
Yeah.
What will you do for fueling? Do you get drinks?
No. So Valencia's quite strict because their standards are super high. I think like the Elite A or whatever they call it is... Do you know? Is it like sub 226 or something?
Yeah, I think it's mental.
Yeah,
it's the hardest standard.
Yeah, so it's the old Olympic standard, I think, which is 226.50, I think. So then everyone gets drinks who's run that time. I'm in Elite B, which means I kind of get the separate start area, like a bit more chilled before, which is great. But I don't get drinks and everything like that. So I kind of still need to work that out. If you're there, I might utilize you.
Utilize me. Yeah, 100%.
There are lots of people watching, so I can try and do that. But I'll also just carry loads of gels on me, because then I know if I missed a drink, it's not like I'm short of fuel.
Yeah.
And I'm really
good
with
with
gels.
I have water and stuff on the course, so you can like use that as well.
Yeah, and I've trained with gels. I've also practiced with my drink as well, but I'm so used to gels that it's not going to be a shock for my body. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'll be fine.
And can you share your strategy for race day?
Well, I can, but I really feel like I've been so relaxed about it that I've not really thought of the actual specifics of race day. I think what I want to bring into the race is just my mindset that I've had whilst I've been training, and almost just see it not as a training run, because it is a race and it is the day where you want to perform your best. But if you can put your mind into how you feel when you are training, where you're quite relaxed about it, I think that's quite important for me. So that's going to be good. I'm hopefully running with Stu, our friend, and I've never run with anyone in a marathon before. So I've never had anyone pace
Big
me
shout out to Stu.
Yes. And I've never, run with a friend or anything. And he's definitely someone that I feel really comfortable running with. And I think that's so important as well, because you can have people that sort of stress you out as well. I feel really comfortable running with him, and I trust him, and he's good at pacing as well. So it would be great if we could run most of the way together. So I'm quite excited about that. I think that's also why I feel a bit more relaxed, because I'm not going into it alone, which sometimes I feel quite like a bit lost about it, because I'm like, am I doing the right thing?
And I know, was it Frankfurt? You ended up by yourself for quite a long time. And
yeah, and I was like, do I want to look at my watch for the splits, or like, do I want to go off feel? And you're kind of questioning yourself. So it's nice now knowing that I have someone that is definitely not going to go off too fast, because he is good at doing that, but he'll pace it right. I can trust him, and I won't really mind sort of looking at my watch every 5K or so without thinking I need to check every mile.
Yeah.
So that.
And you say you want to, your main goal is to kind of get your mindset in the place that it is in training, relaxed, so you race your best. How are you going to do that?
I've got lots of strategies now. As we always talk about, I've been working with my sports psychologist for maybe almost 2 years now. And I think the biggest things I've taken from him that I take into all my sessions are, in the moment you're in, are you doing your best? And when I think of that in sessions, it's such a huge thing, because even on those days where you're a bit tired and maybe you're not hitting the pace or whatever, I'm just like, well, am I doing my best? Yes. Okay. Big win. Like, what else can you do? I think that always keeps me relaxed. Having some distraction techniques as well of, when things are hurting. One of the things I've done a lot recently is thinking about my arms. So when my legs get tired, I just think, okay, move your arms, and your legs have to follow. So that's quite a good one, because even if it doesn't physically do much, it takes your mind off your legs for a while. And then just breaking the race down, I think, is really helpful as well. So with fueling, knowing, okay, every certain number of kilometers or every certain number of minutes, I'll take a gel or get a drink. It's like that breaks it down a bit. And then also one thing that you've always done is like splitting the race into you do like the first half, then to 20 miles, and then the last 10K. So you just have something to focus on in each of those sections. Quite helpful.
Yeah, always. And I feel like the weather's going to help as well, especially with it being so cold at the moment.
Don't get me started.
A run in the sun.
Yeah.
It's just a long run in the sun.
I know. And then
delightful.
I'm so excited for December, because I'm like, okay, we'll get this done. Then December is like Christmas fun, and I just need to get through that. And then I'm off to Cape Town.
Such a good time of year to do a marathon, actually, isn't it? 'Cause then you can just roll into December, into Christmas, and actually enjoy it and not worry about training.
Exactly. And then January, go to some proper sun.
Yes. Cannot wait. Get me there. Oh my God, today killed me.
Yes. Oh, but no, I am. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I can't believe it's next week, though. It's really come around.
Come around so quickly.
And what are your latest updates?
Whilst you've been nailing your marathon sessions, I've been nailing my 30-minute runs, which slightly at the other end of the spectrum, but it's going well. Yeah, I honestly, being injured just makes you so grateful for running. And we bumped into each other on the common hilariously with Stu and our other friend Caitlin, completely coincidentally, the other day. And I have to say, that was the first run that I felt like I had my old legs back. It just felt really easy, and I cracked out 2 sub-7 minute miles. Just
speedy
about it. I know. I tell you, I haven't seen a sub-7 on the watch for a very long time.
It is funny though, because when you come back from injury, it just feels so weird to run.
Yeah.
There is a turning point, which you must have had the other day, where, now I know how it feels normal.
Exactly. And I'm not going to lie, I've been trying to stay optimistic, and I know you go through this process of feeling weird at the start, but the first few runs I was like, oh my God, I've got a really long way to go. Like, when is it going to feel normal? And it wasn't, I had no pain at all. I was just running like 740s, which for me is not fast. And that felt really fast.
Yeah.
I mean, if I just ran without thinking about it, it would be like over 8-minute miles, which
Yeah.
before I basically couldn't run that slow. So it was really strange, but it just, for some reason on that run, it clicked.
Yeah,
like,
when you say the slower pace felt fast, were you out of breath, or was it just more the movement of your legs?
It was just the movement of my legs. Because I've been doing quite a bit on the bike. So I'm not, I mean, I am by no means fit, but I'm not horrendously unfit. You know, I should be able to run that pace and not be out of breath.
It's like biomechanically.
Yeah. Just that motion was not happening. But we're back. I found my legs at long last.
And now you'll probably surprise yourself that you're fitter than you think. I think now that the movement feels more normal, you'll realise, okay, I can push myself a little bit and you're not completely unfit.
I hope so. So I've just been building up really gradually. And since the last 6th mile, I think I was just starting on the Ultra G then. So I did 2 weeks just on the Ultra G, the anti-gravity treadmill, which anyone who doesn't know what they are, Google them. They look kind of weird, but you basically like put these space pants on and run in a bubble to take some of your body weight. So I did 2 weeks of that, just building up my body weight to like 85%. And then I started running outside. And for anyone who's returning to running, I think if you can get on an anti-gravity treadmill for the first bit, it does really help to just get a bit of that biomechanical motion back and just also test it so you don't. That gave me a lot of confidence because it was completely pain-free.
Yeah.
And then going from 85% to 100% isn't that much of a jump. So that actually really helped me. And I think just as much as I was so keen to just get back to running, Aidan made me do 2 weeks in the gym before I started back. And that actually really helped as well because I didn't feel at all wonky. And again, that's just a big confidence boost to go out and not feel wonky.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad I was patient.
On the anti-gravity treadmill, can you run faster on that than outside?
It's actually quite fun.
Yeah.
In a way. But you can go really fast because you don't get out of breath.
Ah, so interesting. So would you do like almost a session on there before you do one outside?
Yeah, I'm actually this weekend going to do some strides on it.
Okay, nice.
So I'm going to do 8 by 30 seconds.
Ah.
And it also means that I'll probably wait another week to do that outside, but I can push it a little bit on the Ultra G. It's just a lot more controlled as well.
What are you strapped in? What happens if you tripped and like fell on that treadmill?
You'd do very well to trip and fall.
Really?
I mean, if anyone's done that, I would love to hear about it.
Because I'm just really, what happens to you? Because you can't like fall off the back.
Yeah, you're literally harnessed. So there's kind of arms each side. Well, that's like a normal treadmill, I guess. But then the bubble attaches onto the arms. Okay. So you're literally like strapped. The shorts are basically strapped into the arms. Okay. So you can't go anywhere.
You can't. Yeah. Honestly, I have a bit of a treadmill fear on normal treadmills. Yeah. I put the clip on. I'm so scared I'll fly off the back. I've never tripped on a treadmill. I don't know where the fear came from. But I'm so scared that I'm just going to fall off that I need to be clipped in.
I feel like I've had a few times where I've nearly stacked on a treadmill.
Yeah, I think it's like so close.
You know what I always do is hit the front of it. And that makes me jump and then I nearly trip. And it also really hurts when you hit the front of the treadmill. Yeah. With your hand.
Oh yeah, I've had cuts all over my knuckles before from backing treadmills.
Well, always wear the safety clip. That's the lesson there, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. I'm laughed at for that, but I think it's better safe than sorry.
Definitely. So shall we chat about some runners' highs over the last 4 weeks?
Let's do it. So for me, I mean, I think I've spoken a lot about the highs because I would say the last 4 weeks it's been getting those marathon sessions done, and my confidence has honestly gone from being quite low to now very high. I think there's nothing that gives me more confidence than the marathon session. Yeah. I don't know what it is.
Well, I guess it's the most similar to the race. And you think, well, if you can do that on tired legs in the middle of a block, then... But
it translates into my shorter stuff as well. It's like, if I have a good marathon session, I'm like, wow, like I managed to do that. So then the Tuesday where I'll have an interval session, I go into it way more confident and I'm suddenly faster. Like, it's really weird. Yeah. So I know that it's not really my fitness, it is just my confidence.
But maybe it is also your fitness. Like each week you're getting fitter.
Yeah. I think psychologically I just get more out of doing a good marathon session. Yeah. Than a good like like shorter interval session. It just helps me for everything. But yeah, that's definitely been one of my highs, is kind of this little journey that I've been on the last 4 weeks. And the other high, I have to say, which I will link to running, is we got Glastonbury tickets.
I cannot wait. I'm so excited.
Yeah, that is a huge high. But the reason I want to link it to running is the adrenaline I had that morning of getting tickets, which I was doing star jumps around the living room. I had so much adrenaline that I went for a run straight afterwards. And I ran so fast. I was just like, I had so much energy that I was just flying around this run because I was just like, yeah, it was a real high.
I was actually the same. And so I went out the night before, and for me, I had a very late night.
Yeah.
So I went to see Ben Boma, who I love. It wasn't meant to be that late, but it was in Alexandra Palace, which is just basically not
A
London.
trek.
It's such a mission. So it was like an hour and a half back, so we were late. Anyway, so I'd done that, and within the space of 12 hours, I was watching Ben Boma, and getting Glastonbury tickets was just too much excitement on not much sleep. And then straight from Glastonbury tickets, I went in the ice bath, and then I ran home.
Oh, wow.
And I got back and I was like, I don't know what to do with myself. I'm just buzzing.
Do you ever wish you could sort of see what was going on inside your body? Because
Yeah, my adrenaline must have been, and dopamine must have been through the roof.
yeah, the amount of things your body's gone through in the space of 12 hours there, it's just like, it's so funny.
It is really stressful. Glastonbury tickets is
Oh gosh, I don't know why they
very
make it
high
like that.
stress.
Yeah.
But I'm amazed we all got them. Bring
so
on
excited.
June. Cannot wait.
Yay. So other than doing your 30-minute runs, do you have any other running highs?
I mean, quite honestly, I don't know how you top that. 30-minute run, feeling good.
You're almost at 5
And-
miles.
Well, I am thinking the run club, I might do 2 laps.
Yeah.
5 miles easy. And we've got our run on Sunday, which is going to be 45 minutes.
Wow. Yeah, that's
And brunch.
considerable. Yes.
So I'm actually going to say that's going to be my high. I know it's going to be my high because
45 minutes is a proper run.
it's a proper run, and it's the first time I'll be back out to Bushy Park, back on the old run and brunch routine. I'm going to bring Willow. I'm going to ignore the fact that it's shit weather.
Yeah, well, that's what I was just looking at. I was like, is the weather...
We're going to ignore that.
Well, it's cloudy, but it's warming up a little. It's
Okay.
warmer than today.
But it's the first time I've done that since before Paris.
That's
which is
incredible.
So
That's-
exciting.
That's such
So
a long time ago.
That will be my high. I
Mhm.
think the other high I had down, which is in comparison to that, just not exciting. One thing I'm really pleased about with this comeback is normally when I come back after a break, either injury or just a break, my Achilles hate life for like a month. And I have to go to Shockwave, and they always just have an absolute meltdown, and then I get through it. This time they've been great.
Do you know it's
So
'cause of the strength
gym-
work?
Yeah, I do. It's the calf raises.
Yeah, I love
Which I'm up
calf
to.
raise.
18.8 kilos
Wow.
on a calf raise.
Well, but how do you hold a dumbbell or a kettlebell, or
No,
you
I
do
do
it
it
on the Smith machine? Yeah, that's so much better,
Yeah.
isn't it? Smith
Yeah.
machine makes it a lot easier. Well done.
So that's a win.
Did you just say 18.8 kilos, by the way?
Yeah.
That's such a random weight.
Well,
Why
the bar's
not?
8.8.
Oh, okay. I never knew how heavy the bar is.
Well, I think they vary, but
I think my
mine
one's 0.
Mine says 8.8 on it.
I think mine is absolutely nothing at my gym.
Really?
Well, it's like if you move it up and down, I could do it with my little finger.
Okay, that makes sense, because for ages, Aidan was telling me
Yeah.
that the bar is nothing.
Yeah,
and
I
was
asked
like,
him that as well.
I've been going on this bar, and I tell you it's not nothing. And
Okay,
then
it must be
I
different.
found it said 8.8 kilos,
Yeah.
which made a lot more sense. But I was thinking that I was really weak when I couldn't do much weight, and then
Yeah.
I'm pleased to know it's 8.8 kilos.
Okay, that makes sense. 18.8. Well done.
Thank you.
I'm Natasha.
I'm Steph.
And I'm Rose.
We're the co-founders of Boldly, a movement created to make running safer, stronger, and more connected, especially when it gets dark.
Did you know that 72% of women change how or when they exercise during winter due to safety concerns?
All three of us know what it's like to avoid dark routes, cut runs short, or skip runs altogether because we don't feel safe at this time of year.
Boldly is here to change that. From social runs to useful tools, Boldly is here to connect runners, make running safer all year round, and reclaim spaces that we lose.
Join us every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. for our weekly social run in Putney. It's women-led but open to everyone, And all paces are welcome, so no one gets left behind.
And for even more connection, join our WhatsApp community. It's a space to chat, share tips, and meet more like-minded runners.
Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Boldly Run for details.
And sign up to boldlyrun.com for updates on our app, which is launching soon.
Because together, we can run safely.
Together, we run boldly.
Do you have a running low from recent times?
Well, you know what? I actually struggled with this, and I'm quite surprised because I mean, something must have gone wrong in the last 4 weeks. I did have, it's not really running, but it was quite funny yesterday. And there's a bit of a backstory to this. It's yoga related.
Yeah.
And I've kind of had these like forays into yoga and it's never gone well for me. I've always done a few weeks and realized it's just not, yoga is not for me. I can't do an hour. I get bored. I start fidgeting and it's just not great.
Are you flexible?
No, I'm really inflexible.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
I always think
As
most
most
it's
runners
going
are.
to be good for me,
Mhm.
so I'll do it. Anyway, the last kind of foray into yoga I had, I went to this class and it was just so crowded and I had like people's feet in my face and it just, I was like, this is not,
That
this
is
is
not it.
really stressful.
Yeah.
So I stopped going and then I've kind of now thought, right, I'm going to get back into it. And I heard this class was really good. So I was like, right, I'm going to give it a crack. Gave it a crack. And I have to say, the first few weeks I enjoyed it. And it's hot yoga. So I was like, it's getting some heat gains. And just my quads are also so tight from the bike that I need to sort that out. And my shoulders. So I was like, do some yoga. Going well until yesterday when I was a bit late for the class, which didn't help matters because I was a bit flustered.
Mhm.
It was also chucking it down with rain and I cycled there. So
Oh no.
I basically turned up like drowned rat, slightly freezing
Yeah.
in wet leggings and had to like run into the yoga class. And there was kind of a couple of spaces left, but I had to choose it really quickly. So I just went in the corner and the space was kind of blocked in a bit. And I was like, it's not great, but we can deal with it. Anyway, it was fine until like the last 5 minutes when you do the relaxation, lay down and I put my arms up above my head and I didn't realize there was this entire tower of yoga blocks behind me and I knocked the entire thing over
Oh my
onto me,
gosh.
the person next to me. There was this big bang and it was the bit where they were like, you know, doing the peaceful, relaxing
Oh.
Shavasana.
Here comes
And there
Rose.
comes me crashing into the room. So
Destroying it. That's
that
so
was
funny.
quite embarrassing. And then I had to go and like,
Did you pick them all up?
I had to
Yeah.
kind of like shuffle around in the corner, picking them up and then go and apologise for being late, like causing absolute chaos. And I don't think I'm going to be invited back.
I was going to ask, are you going to go back?
I
You
don't
can't
think I
face it.
can.
You have to find another studio that'll take you.
At least another teacher because she's going to blacklist me, I think.
Will you keep up that sort of thing now you're running more?
Well, that was my intention. Yeah, I mean, I only do once a week, but I do feel like it's kind of a vinyasa one, so it's not like super stretchy.
Yeah.
Get a bit of flow and stability, and I feel like
that's
it's
quite
quite
nice.
good.
Mobility work.
Yeah.
Almost. I could be tempted.
But I'm gonna have to I'll leave it a bit. I'll leave
Okay.
it a bit and then go back. Maybe I'll
Yeah,
go
they
back
won't
in the
remember
new
you.
year. Yeah. In different clothes.
Yeah.
What about you? Have you got a runner's fail?
Well, like you, I was struggling to think of one, which again is strange because something must have not been good in the last few weeks. But I can only think of recent things. And today has been so cold. A lot of the country had snow. For me, where I was, we had ice rain. And
It's not
I
great.
think that's the worst type of weather.
Yeah.
Like rain when it's ice. It's just so cold. So I had a session this morning and it's just like you warm up and then you don't know what to wear for the session because you know you're probably going to, when you're running fast, you're going to warm up a bit more. It was just so uncomfortable and my training partner and I were questioning our lives when we were doing our
that is
strides
grim.
before and we were just like, what are we doing? There are just times as a runner, you do think, why do you do this
Why?
to yourself?
Yeah.
You know, it's just very,
And
very
you're right,
strange choices.
The rain is the worst because you're also just wet from the start, especially if
Yeah.
it's the start of the session. That is grim.
Yeah, I know. And it's like, it's my choice to do this. I could easily say, no, I'm not doing it. You know, I'm like, I want to do this. It is because of, you know, the reward you get at the end of it of doing something that's so uncomfortable.
There is a part of me that always thinks, well, at least I look really hardcore.
Yeah.
At least I'm out here and people think I'm hardcore.
Yeah. So it was fine. Like the session went well. So I guess it wasn't a complete low, but yeah. And then even after the session, you just before the cool down, like I changed my shoes and I was suddenly freezing again. And the whole cool down, I was just like, I can't feel my hands because my gloves were soaked. Oh gosh. Yeah, I had a lovely hot shower when I got home.
Okay, well, at least Valencia will be sunny, and then, as you say,
Yes.
no more running until you're in the sun, basically.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there'll be running, but fun running.
But no,
no serious running.
you don't have to run if you.
I don't have to run.
No serious running.
But the problem with us is we will run.
Yeah,
It's like you don't have to run,
Yeah.
but obviously I will. Okay, so shall we talk about some learnings from the past few weeks? What have you learned?
Oh, yes. Well, actually, linked to the cold, I have to say, our episode with Enid about breathing and cold exposure, I learned so much on that. And as you know, I have been committed to the ice bath even in this weather. And I've been
well done.
implementing some of her techniques. So that's been really good, actually.
Yeah, so have you changed a few things?
I have. I've
What's
been
that?
doing the breathing, although I basically went on YouTube for the Wim Hof method and was looking at the breathing. It's not something you can do in a public sauna. There is actually one man who does do it in the public sauna.
Oh, really?
And I say public, I mean, it's like a 4-person sauna.
Yeah.
I didn't realise it's the Wim Hof method, but now I know what he's doing.
Oh, you're not thinking that's weird. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
you have more respect.
I have a bit more respect, but at the same time, I'm like, just don't do it. It's like, he literally sits cross-legged
Okay.
on the seat, taking up half the thing, and does this like really loud breathing.
Yeah. Is he wearing
Very
something?
dramatic.
He's not naked, is he?
No, he's not naked.
Because that would be
That
a
would
real
be
sight.
really weird. Yeah. Oh my God. No, thank God he's
Okay.
not naked. But
Well,
yeah,
must
I'm not
work for
going
him.
to be doing that in sauna. But I have been doing the breath in the ice bath, and it really helps. And
'Cause-
doing my squats afterwards.
Oh, to warm yourself up?
Yes.
Do you notice a difference now doing that?
Yeah,
Oh, really? That's so
Yeah.
interesting.
I haven't been cold all afternoon,
Wow.
which is great.
That is a revelation.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good. Yeah, I learned so much from Ainit. I didn't say earlier like, when you asked some of the techniques for the marathon as well, is I'll definitely be thinking about my breathing more, even though that's something that I've been trying to implement in races anyway. It's kind of reaffirmed that it will help. And even actually before the last few sessions, I've taken sort of during my warm up, I've taken a minute to just like focus on my breathing just to keep myself, because you can be a bit nervous or like stressed before a session, and just to like relax and like bring yourself back to the present. And yeah, it really helps.
It's so interesting. I'm really looking forward to learning more about it, actually.
Yeah,
And implementing
I would love
some
to
more
learn
things.
more.
So
Yeah.
that's been my highlight of the things I've learned over the last 4 weeks. What about you?
So one of mine, again, I feel like I'm speaking a lot about this marathon block, but it's very relevant, has been like, because a few weeks ago I was not feeling confident, and it was easy to listen to, I will say a few people said, are you sure you want to do Valencia? And I was like, I think I only need 6 weeks. And like knowing yourself, I was like, I think I can do it. And almost shutting down any voice that was like, I don't think anyone meant it in a bad way, but someone questioning it to me is them saying to me, I don't think you can run what you think you can run. So I was like, you know what? I'm just not going to listen to that. I'm going to prove that I can get into shape in the next few weeks. And I've done it. So it
Good
just,
for you.
So it just felt like,
Yeah.
I think you know yourself. I've got so much experience in training that I know what gets me fit, and I know when I feel fit. So I'm like, I don't need anyone else to tell me if I am.
And
or
they'll
not.
be applying because it's what we all do. You apply what you think for yourself.
Yeah.
So they'll be thinking, oh, I couldn't get fit in 6
Yeah.
weeks. Like, are you sure you want to do that? 'Cause
Yeah.
You assume it's going to be the same for some
Yeah.
weird reason, and obviously it's not.
So I think the thing is you know your body the best, and you know yourself, and you just need to be aware of who you take advice from and who you value, whose opinion you value, because there's so many people that could tell you. I'm sure you get it all the time. Like, obviously, being a professional athlete, you've got so many people following you. I'm sure just people try and give you advice where you need to know who to
All
not
the
care.
time.
Yeah.
That was kind of why I stopped posting on Strava, because I went on, I started doing it for a bit, And I just got so many people being like, why are you doing that session? Or, oh, I'd do this. It's like, God, just stop. And obviously I didn't listen, but it's just annoying.
Yeah.
It's, it's
when
like
it's
I
there.
have two extremely good coaches who know my whole program, know how I work.
Yeah.
Like, I think they've got this.
Yeah.
It's,
Exactly.
But you're right. It's just, you kind of just have to block it out and
Yeah.
know who to listen to. But
Exactly.
good. I'm glad you did that because it's paid off.
Yeah, well, yeah, hopefully. But it
Well,
has.
I mean,
It has
so
already.
you
It
feel
has already
ready,
paid
yeah.
off. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. So that's my learning.
Well, I cannot wait for our weekend in Valencia. I will be out cheering in the sun and doing bottles, though I need to book my flights.
Yeah, you
Hopefully
won't
I'll
be
be
doing
out.
bottles if you're not there. So has there been any running news lately that's caught your eye?
Obviously, there is the major running news that Sydney is the new major marathon, which is exciting.
So cool.
Although I was a bit confused because it's basic. So there was 6 before.
Yeah.
You get the medal for the 6. But Sydney's been added as the 7th, but you don't get a medal for it. As in, it's not included in the medal. So if you run 6 of them, it has to be the original 6 to get the medal. And you don't get like anything special for Sydney. And apparently they're adding 2 more, which the next one is hotly tipped to be Cape Town.
Yes, I have seen that.
And then Shanghai.
Oh, cool.
And then once they get to 9, you'll have a 9-star medal.
Right.
But it seems a bit like, they've sort of added it, but it's not.
Yeah, it's not like proper major.
If you don't get
it's
the
not
cool
appeared.
medal.
Yeah, I kind of see it in the way that maybe they need time to roll it out, because if people have done 5 and they were like planning to do that 6th one, and then they're like, oh no, I'm not going to get the medal because I have to do Sydney as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It might have taken them a while to do the 5.
And
So
of course,
then-
there are other advantages of being a major. It gets more funding, I guess, and is better organised, and it's going to be bigger.
Yeah,
It'll be a
super
very cool one to do.
Yeah, we're going to have
End
to
of August.
book a trip
Hilly.
to Sydney. Oh yeah, hilly. Yeah, but you've got Boston and New York are hilly as well, so it's fun.
It's hillier.
Oh, okay.
But I'm still up for it.
Yeah.
Trip to Sydney. I'm
Cape
in.
Town's not a flat one either, I don't think. It's
No.
not super hilly, but it's definitely not flat.
So there's that in the running news. But in more local running news, did you hear about Mo Farah's little incident with some people who tried to steal his phone?
No, I didn't actually.
It's not funny, but it is kind of quite. The Daily Mail wrote about it, and the way that the Daily Mail wrote about it was hilarious.
Do we know if it's true then? If it's on the Daily Mail?
I think it is. It has been. It was on other sources as well.
Okay.
Not sure how reputable, but basically what happened was Mo Farah was running in his apparently very nice private estate in Surrey that has security, and somehow this van got in, and he'd left his phone on the private road whilst he was doing his strides or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, these guys stole his phone, but Daily Mail put it that he basically suddenly turned into Usain Bolt. Hang on, I'm going to find the article. So Mo Farah saw the van, and the Daily Mail said he sprinted after it, chasing down the getaway van just like Usain Bolt. So,
oh my gosh.
I mean, coming out of retirement to sprint like Usain Bolt,
he still
play,
got
mate.
it.
He got the phone.
Oh, he did?
He got the phone, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
that's a great ending.
Yeah, pretty impressive, to be honest.
Well, they wouldn't have necessarily known it was his, right? Or were they targeting Mo Farah?
Yeah, they probably.
They just thought it was like a rich person's area, and just thought we can find something.
Saw a phone and took it. But yeah, fair play to him. I think that's very impressive.
Yeah, well done, Mo.
Quite like to have witnessed it.
Okay, so the bit of news that I saw is, it actually kind of makes me cringe because I just don't know how someone can do this. But American runner Connor Strinkowski is known to run his races by not wearing a top, but he pins his race number, race bib, onto his skin, like safety pins into his skin. The reason it's come up in the news, he's done this for a while, I think, but it came up in the news because he did the New York City Marathon where he ran 2 hours, 39 minutes, which is, very reasonable.
Oh my God, why?
But I just think, I'm imagining the motion of running and movement, how it would be like stretching and...
Give the guy some sellotape.
I don't know why he does it.
It
just makes me...
yeah,
gosh.
someone needs to give him some sellotape, don't they? Just
Yeah.
like tape it around you.
Yeah, so I'm not sure why. Just I guess it's his little USP, but
That's not
not for
a
me.
nice, no, that's not a nice one.
yeah,
Very strange.
really caught my eye though.
Oh, you
But
must
well
just
done
have
for
a
New
lot
York
of-
City Marathon because very impressive.
Yeah, that must be messy at the end, surely.
You'd think so,
Probably,
yeah.
Okay, well,
that was one.
we won't be doing that.
No, I won't be trying, especially not with no top on. That would not be good for anyone.
And in listener news, we have had some very funny stories come through for this episode.
One in particular was very funny. Okay, we'll read out a couple. So the first one was, okay, I got hypothermia in a half marathon. First aiders were on the course, so a volunteer had to get me naked, dry me and dress me in a half marathon.
Wow. That's quite impressive.
Yeah, it must have been very cold.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm complaining about today, but to get hypothermia...
I'm guessing it rained or snowed or
gosh,
something. Yeah.
that's quite scary actually, but one to laugh at later on. And then the other one that I just have to read out because really made me laugh. Okay. Was once prescribed a training plan with 3 a.m. runs. I did one run at 3 a.m. and didn't enjoy it. So I queried it with my coach who said it meant 3 times a.m. runs per week. But I can see how you would think that could be like 3 a.m. runs.
Yeah.
But he's read it as 3 a.m.
I get it, but oh my God, no one would get me out of bed for a 3 a.m. run.
And also, why didn't
Why?
he query it straight away? He queried it with his coach after he didn't like it. But it's like, if my
Yeah,
coach
give that
sent
a
me
go.
that, or if I misinterpreted it as that, I would query it straight
I would
away.
also
I'm
be
not
like,
doing that.
absolutely straight off, no.
And also, I can probably tell you there are no benefits of doing that. But that really...
Well, I'm glad it got cleared up sooner rather than later because
Yeah.
I can't imagine that was fun.
Yeah, that was a good
Brilliant.
one.
Well, that is a cracking one. And I think all we've got time for this week on the 6th mile. But we will be back in 4 weeks. So any more stories from our listeners, send them in and they will be on the next 6th mile, which will be our Christmas special.
Can't
Very
wait.
exciting.
Thanks for joining us for 5 Miles Easy.
See you next time.